Hello. Welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. If you're here, you are a 3/6 or a martyr role model profile. If you don't know, and if you would like to find out, there's a link in the description below to get your human design chart, and amongst other great bits of information, your profile will be listed on there. Okay, let me kind of get situated here. I move some things around and okay. So I just pulled a post from Jess Field's Instagram. I did a course by her maybe a year ago or so. And of course, I will link her Instagram in the description below. She puts out a lot of great information on all things human design. So definitely check her out. And it says, with a 3 in your profile, you are brilliant at finding the one small thing that doesn't work in any given scenario. Some might call you the natural quality control check. When you find the piece that doesn't work, give yourself permission to report back to the rest of the world. We are waiting for your insight. And with a 6 in your profile, you are on a lifelong mission for objective truth. You're driven to find the wisdom in any given situation or relationships. Others seek you out for your objective and wise perspective. Your influence is most powerful when you live out your own values for others to see. Love that. How does that resonate? Does it resonate? She definitely has a way of kind of putting a positive spin. Not that there's anything negative. Not that there's anything negative, but that third line can bring a bit of chaos with it. The trial and error. The 6th line having the 3 phases of life, and the first phase is a 3rd line. So the first 30 years, you're living as a 3/3, which is, double the trial and error, double the discovery, double the bumping up against life. That can be disabling and it can be chaotic. And then of course that second phase going up on the roof for the most part, right? Because that 3rd line still needs a stimulation. It can't really get bored. But, that second phase is all about sifting through the experiences, sifting through the knowledge, what stays, what goes, what did work, what did not work. And then the 3rd phase, after you turn about 50, you're officially off the roof, and all that wisdom, has calibrated into your being, and you step into that role model role by simply being uniquely you. And then of course you have your strategy and authority to help you figure out what experiences are correct for you or what experiences are not correct, either for the time being or at all. So definitely check that out. All right. Okay. Shuffle with a little more intention here. We're looking for a message for our martyr role models. You might have seen the video I posted a couple days ago. If you didn't, that's okay. But I am going to be taking a little bit of a breaky poo. This will be the last week that I'm posting videos for the rest of September and for October. So I do plan on being back in November, but your girl needs a break. I kind of feel like there's, some things transitioning for me, and I need to give myself a little bit of space to kind of spread out energetically and also let those things kind of come into focus. So, FYI, I feel this urge to say, like, I'm so happy you're here. And I am. I'm always happy that you're here. But all of a sudden, I felt the urge to say that. So let's shuffle a few more times, and then I'll stop talking about my stuff, and we'll talk about your stuff. There we go. That was it. It was ready. It was ready. Okay. Here we go. The 5 of Cups. Okay. We can deal with that. Okay. We can definitely deal with that. High Priestess. 8 of Swords. 2 of Swords. Okay. And the Lovers at the bottom of... Okay. Hold, please. Okay. The Taurus in me has to be sure that everything is like in the frame. You can see everything. It looks straight-ish. And I am so sorry. If you hear me belching, I don't mean it. I mean, all I'm drinking is water. But anytime I do readings, of course, like, I burp. So I try to do it discreetly, though, because obviously I'm not trying to be rude. So, okay. Okay. I'm laughing because all of this up here is water. All of this is about your feels. All of this down here is about your mind and how you're thinking about it, how you're perceiving it. And I think that it's so effing cool how it just naturally happened. This is Scorpio. This is Pisces or Cancer. It depends on who you ask. We have the Lovers. We have the Ace of Swords. Very... very interesting. So let's just start at the beginning. We have the 5 of Cups. There's clearly something going on here that is bringing you down. And especially with it paired with the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is all about kind of like a self-imposed mind prison. Like it's like feeling trapped. It can even just be, like those limiting beliefs, our shame stories, right? It's like kind of getting stuck in our loop of you don't deserve because like your life is this way because of whatever negative belief you have, right? The 5 of Cups is about loss and mourning. It's the card of grief also. But, it's interesting because in the 5 of Cups, there's always 3 cups that are empty or knocked over or broken in this case. And there's always 2 cups remaining. So it, of course, it does talk about loss. But there's also this reminder about it's not all lost, right? Like there's still these 2 cups here. Like what remains is either yet to be seen, or what remains is what is for your highest good. The Three of Cups in the tarot talks about celebrations, friendships, networking. The Two of Cups talks about connection. So there could be some sort of like friend group or community, or it could even be a job. With cups, it's going to be how you're feeling about whatever the thing is. But again, just also recognizing that there's still these two cups left. But it's totally valid to mourn whatever was in those three cups, to mourn that, there wasn't anything there for you. And especially, like if it was something exciting to you or that you had hopes about. And then, like I said, with the Eight of Swords, like this is that mind trap. I don't know if it did it. Focus, I can't see. But just look how, what's the word? I keep thinking like dismantling. That's not the word that I'm trying to think of, though. But it just, anytime I look at this card, it makes me dizzy. Just looking in here, it makes me dizzy. And like when we are just kind of stuck in this cycle where, there's all of these thoughts coming in. They could even be trying to penetrate your current way of thinking. What is that? Huh. Hold on. No? I don't know. It sounded like a dog whining. So me and my dog had to go investigate. I don't know. I didn't discover anything. So, okay. But yeah, I know we were talking about this Eight of Swords here because too, if you look at it, there's all of this energy coming off of whatever's going on in here. I know there's like 3 owls in there. But, it's like this protection even. There very well could be something that you don't want to deal with here. There could be some sort of a loss of some type that you just, like I said, you don't want to let those thoughts come in. You don't want to deal with the grief. You don't want to And I know we have this death card here, and it doesn't generally, I want to be like ultra sensitive here. Because if you are dealing with a physical loss, this is not easy. And it should be done in your own time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being in this energy of just kind of wanting to be avoidant for the time being and just kind of gradually, again, in your own time. That could even be what these 3 cups are, like working through them one at a time. As long as you do, is what I keep kind of hearing in my head. Now, death in the realm of tarot, it talks about rebirth. There's that saying, hold again. Sorry about that. So, I also took the opportunity to drink more water. But there's that saying that goes, every beginning disguises itself as an end. And that's what the death card is. That's also what the world card is. But this is in the middle of the journey. The world's at the end of the fool's journey, right? So actually, what comes after? I think temperance, yeah. And this card specifically talks about, so this owl is carrying this rat here. And it talks about how the rats live under this thorn bush and how they did that as a way of protection, right? But it became a cage. And in the end, it didn't do anything good for the rat. So, again, even going back to this situation over here, I mean, this could even be a coping mechanism that you have. Something that, you developed as generally in childhood somewhere. And it's gotten you this far, but it no longer works. This can also be, that armor that we put up around ourselves to keep our hearts protected, right? I know all about that also. But also, the death card is also signifying that the energy is available to you to address these things and make a decision, because the 2 of Swords is actually about indecision, not wanting to even make a decision. But also it could even be that there's some confusion, a little bit of doubt even, because of course, we start with the Ace of Swords, which is right under here. And the Ace of Swords is about truth, honesty, it's divine truth. It's objective truth. Seeing a situation for exactly what it is, not through the filters that we've had in place for however long, right? That's ego, and that's also homeostasis. But there is this, kind of invitation to decide to come out from this cage. I love this combination right here. This is absolutely effing beautiful. The High Priestess, like I see the High Priestess as our direct connection to our star player, our higher self. If you have a belief in a higher power, right? I mean, it could be God, it could be source, it could be spirit. For me, it's higher self. But, you know, I mean, it talks about intuition. And also, you know, like the subconscious realm. This is that deep stuff within ourselves. And I also love how this moon right here is the same as this moon in this Eight of Swords. It might be slightly different. It looks the same to me. At least the tone looks the same, like the color. And also, you know, there could have been a situation that almost just kind of like stunted you. Oh boy. There he goes. You gonna go check it out? Okay. Like, look how far down this is. And, you know, all of this stuff around it. Again, I mean, it could be confusion. It could be this protection, this cage. Even, you know, I was talking about protection here too. Trying to decide if it's like safe to come out. This is all stuff that's also happening in your head. Based on your perception of your feelings of it. So it's almost like, you know, this, again, reconnection. I love that these are also at opposite ends. And I love how these two cards are at opposite ends, because the Four of Swords talks about healing. It's literally giving yourself a time of rest or the space to unpack the mental stuff after a tough time. Because the Three of Swords in tarot talks about disappointment, rejection, betrayal. It's heartbreak. But it's the way that that heartbreak lives in our minds. What's the story that we tell ourselves about that heartbreak? And then we move on to the Four of Swords. And I love how this little guy is like hibernating. Again, you know, giving yourself space to unpack this. And reconnect with yourself. Like, let this, sorry, I don't know if this is shaking, sorry. Letting this is you. Let that come back up. I mean, maybe at some point in your life, somebody told you that you were too much. Right? I mean, like maybe somebody just kind of knocked you down a couple pegs. That's, you know, because that's what this feels like. And, you know, you built up all this protection around it, all these ways to kind of confuse people so that they don't see this thing. But here it is, like, clear the clouds, reconnect, allow yourself, give yourself time to do that. And I love that we have the Lovers card behind here. I mean, of course, this can be healing a relationship with somebody else, but that would be for you to decide. If there was somebody who was massively toxic in your life, there is absolutely no reason to try to resolve or try to heal that relationship directly with them. You don't even have to do that. You can do that energetically. So please don't put yourself back into a toxic situation. That's not what this is about. So this can, like I said, it can, of course, be healing a relationship with somebody else. And that can be anything from romantic to platonic to family, business, community, network, whatever. But this could also just be within yourself, healing the masculine and the feminine within yourself, like recalling your power back to yourself. And then we have this Ace of Swords, which is about truth. Like I said, the Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. I also love this effing bat. Oh my God. I'm trying not to be like too kind of I hope that this is all connecting the way that I'm saying it, because we have a bat on the High Priestess, and this is you. This is like your soul. This is your essence, right? Like I said, like star player, higher self. And this bat, it's flying away because here you are standing in your truth, and almost even this rebirth happening here, coming out of this flower, like this death card was talking about. Oh my gosh. The Six of Pentacles, this one is about setting boundaries, getting what you give. Not more, because this bird is taking more than it's supposed to. Setting healthy boundaries, which isn't easy. We have the Nine of Wands after that. We have the Eight of Cups. There's going to be some people that you're going to have to walk away from to protect your own peace. This is beautiful. Like I said, you know, this is all, it's all in your own time. You know, you don't have to do anything you're not ready to do. But like I said, you know, the energy is available for you. And this gentle nudge about not getting stuck under this cage. This cage. And I love how this frog is looking to the right, which is the future. And I love how they're also looking at this Four of Swords. So it's like, again, you know, it feels like the energy is available to heal this thing, whatever it would be for you. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. This was gorgeous.